Good morning, park managers, and welcome back to Jurassic World Evolution 3 news. So tonight was the Frontier Unlocked, and we learned a little bit more about the game. Some things that are already covered that the bigger content creators got to see some extra footage, would have already spoken about some of the items that were said tonight. But we got some nice, interesting looks at some of the baby Dilophosaurus, a few extra scenes there, and a few extra scenes of the baby Tyrannosaurus Rex, as well as a lot of the footage that was shown off in private to larger content creators as well was also shown on this live stream. And honestly, I really did enjoy seeing these baby T-Rexes a bit more, like just seeing the playful nature of them, seeing them walk out of the nest. Now, something we do see when we are clicking on here is like a maturity timer, so I got a feeling there isn't going to be ontology in this game. It's literally as soon as the baby's finished cooking, boom, it's going to turn into an adult when you're kind of off view of it, I'm going to guess. Otherwise it's going to be jarring just to see this juvenile pop up as a giant adult, which is kind of a shame. It'd been nice to have some ontology, so that's what I'm kind of going to guess is going on here, that we're not getting it. Something I do like in this scene right here is the fact that we can see this like swampy like water, like it's very like it looks like it's kind of flooded. So if you're going to try and make floodplains, I feel like it's going to look great. Now they were talking about the building in this game where you can just completely design everything. So they mentioned how it's basically just what they have in Planet pulled over into Jurassic World Evolution 3. Some people were saying how it was only you would be able to build around the buildings, but listening to the way they were talking about this makes it, to be honest, it makes it sound like you can just build however you want to build, like you can in Planet Coaster 2 and Planet Zoo. So it means you don't have to build around the building, you can have some scenery buildings that you can make yourself. If you're not really that much of a builder, you don't have to worry, because there is going to be full-on blueprints for you to choose from, and as well they have their own version of the workshop where you'll be able to go into there and use anyone else's designs that people have uploaded themselves. So again, very much like Planet Coaster 2, or not very much, is like Planet Coaster 2 and Planet Zoo, where if you are not a builder but you want something nice and you've seen someone build something nice, you can just upload it from the workshop and place it into your park, whatever way you want to do. And then I always say from that point, if you do want to learn into building, just pull it apart. But if you're just a management player, you don't have to worry too much about it. We also learned a little bit about the campaign stuff, which we sort of already know from the leaks, where you can sort of like bounce back between different parks that you started in this campaign, which is going to be kind of fun, so you don't feel like you're just trapped in one place. You can do a bit there, bounce to another bit, do a bit there, bounce back to that one, do a bit more as you gradually go through the missions. Obviously you're going to have to do some missions on the first one to unlock other parks for you to be able to bounce around in that kind of fashion. Again, really cool, really interesting sounding. As well, we got a look at the terrain tools, and I believe we got a screenshot as well that I don't recall seeing in any leaks, which shows off a few different things. So on this screenshot right here, it's showing environmental brushes. So if I zoom into a bit, I know it's a bit grainy because I've had to zoom into it, but it shows like the different things like cover and pastures. So that's going to be your plants. It shows arid and barren, and that's going to be for like your desert kind of enclosures. And then it says wetland, but we don't get to see any of that, unfortunately. So it's going to show a few different brushes, which are going to make your life easier. As well, the terrain building and the waterfalls, which is going to be something absolutely brilliant that I'm looking forward to, is that you can actually make your enclosures natural barriers. So if you're doing cliffs, obviously dinosaurs aren't going to be able to walk up those cliffs, and you've made yourself a natural barrier, which is going to be really cool. Obviously you're going to need a gate to get into that enclosure, so you need to incorporate that somehow, but you can make a really naturalistic looking enclosure. Well, they also mentioned about the attractions, the hot air balloon, which we already knew about, as well as the petting zoo, but they also go on to mention a bit more about the mechanics and the way it works. So if you place down a security security camera and you have like this mechanic person nearby, the security camera will send a signal to let the mechanic know they need to fix the fence. So you can basically make a self-managing park, so you won't actually ever have to drive a vehicle again if you build your parks right, which is really cool. So these guys are going to fix your fences and they are going to resupply feeders. So that makes us think, so I know a few people say, oh, we won't have the ranger jeeps, they're probably just decorations, but I'm going to guess you're going to have rangers to deal with the dinosaurs and also mechanics to deal with the mechanics side of things of your park. But that was basically it that we learned, and let me know in the comments which bit is your favourite, and until next time, I'll see you later.
What's your story?